Welcome to Great Greys, your one-stop shop to finding winners across Australia from the world of greyhound racing. Host David Shortte is joined by Hall of Famer Neil Brown, Jason Campbell to look at Queensland and Tasmanian chasing, Sean Matheson looking at South Australian chasing, New South Wales expert Simon Orchard, and the Shane Train Williams rounds it out with his key plays and kennel mail in WA. Now, over to the team for this week's edition of Great Greys.
Good morning and welcome along to Great Greys on this Thursday, the 20th of March 2025. David Shortte with you. Great to have your company. We've got a busy program upcoming. The Shane Train Williams will be with us in just a few moments. We'll have a look at his thoughts for a busy weekend of greyhound racing coming up here locally. We'll catch up with Jason Campbell for the latest up there in Queensland and down there in Tassie tonight. Neil Brown having a look at Sandown this evening. Sean Matheson talking all things SA chasing, and Simon Orchard going around the grounds there in New South Wales to find us a few winners. But without further ado, let's welcome in the Shane Train on this Thursday morning. Hello, Train.
Yeah, good morning, Shorty. Good morning, listeners. I've got to say, Shorty, it's great to have you back, mate. I know Pedro's done a great job while you're off, but it's great to have you back on deck, mate.
Thank you very much, and I do appreciate greatly the work from Pete and Maddie in my absence over the last few weeks. It's been a tough time, but there's been some real significant contributions from the team, and I'll forever be grateful for that. It's certainly been very much appreciated. Now, we're coming off a pretty special weekend, last weekend, Train. Just quickly want to summarise your thoughts from what was a magnificent Saturday night out there at Cannington. Of course, we had the Group 1 Perth Cup and also the Galaxy. We'll start with the Perth Cup final, and as it turns out, that scratching proved really, really vital. Mapunga Tully allowed Morton to be getting that clear run early, and didn't the dog cash in. Really did spear to the top, but it was Deadly Avenger who had that perfect camp, just got the tag behind Morton and was too strong over the concluding stages. I thought Miss Envy was very good. We heard in the build-up to the Cup Series that she was going to continue to get better with each run, and obviously aiming up towards the Sandgroper with more time to get her right. She's going to be one of the key players in that particular race. But your thoughts on this year's Perth Cup? Yeah,
it was certainly a great race, Shorty. No doubt the scratching of Mapunga Tully changed the scenario of the race, but I just thought it was a great race. It was like the old bull and the young bull, wasn't it? The Morton he's been at the top there. He's won a few Group 1s, and he led up, and Deadly Avenger just had the drop on him. And we always talk about it, Shorty, don't we, in big races, box ones. I know I brought it to everyone's attention that, the first 3 years I was in Perth, some 8 years ago when the new track opened, I think the first 3 Perth Cups were taken out by box ones, and they were all big prices. Equanimity, Trooper Manelli, and the other dog's name escapes me, but it was trained by John Iwanick. It was the very first one. Tig Along a Wait, was it? Or did that run second? I can't remember. But, box one in a big race, Shorty. It's worth its weight in gold. And congratulations to Joe Borg. He's obviously sent the dog to Brisbane for a crack at the Cup up there, and then sent it over to Perth now. And done the right thing, Shorty. Got the dog over here nice and early, had a few spins around Cannington, and that's what you need to do. It's a different setup to racing in Victoria. We have a safe chase lure, which for people that don't know is a silent lure. So they've done the right thing, got the dog over early, and it's paid dividends for him. And now you would think, Shorty, it's only a matter of time before it gets announced in the Sandgroper, you would think.
Yeah, you would think off that performance. It was most impressive. And having been given the opportunity to settle in and have a good look at the track, the dog has shown that it handles the circuit quite nicely. So, yeah, it would most definitely be towards the top of the pile, you'd suggest, with potential candidates for those Sandgroper slots that remain. There are 5 that do remain in the build-up to that big slot race feature. And let's go to the Galaxy. Oh, man, this was some sort of race. For a long period of time, been very, very clear-cut in just how much I love these races, particularly the get-back run on types. And now that doesn't always have to be the racing pattern for Ethanol Water, but it was how things panned out in this Galaxy final. And Groove Bird looked to be off and gone with the prize, but Ethanol Water really dug in late, and it was the last stride of the race that Ethanol Water was able to arrive there for Tom Daly. And, of course, This daughter of Droopy Sydney has been on our radar for a pretty significant period of time. Member of a great litter. She has really stepped up to this Group 1 level as a stayer and taken it to a whole new level. She's been elite. Runner-up was outstanding Groove Bird for Jeff Britton, and I thought Corey White would have to have been incredibly proud of the effort handed in by Miss Ronnie Mack. She stuck on really, really well. But one of the better Galaxy finals I've seen for a while. Train, it was so exciting right down to the last hop of the race.
Yeah, she left it very late, didn't she? Obviously knows where the winning post is. She was close enough in the run. You thought she was going to get there a little bit easier, but to its credit, Group Bird, it stuck on really well. Probably broke the track record itself getting beat, but no, outstanding training performance. I did hear that Tom and Andrea had just come home from a month's holidays around the world, Shorty. I'm speaking to Joe Daly, so no doubt Ethanol Water would have paid for some of that. And great to see the Dailies win. They've always come over here and support our carnival. And Tom and George are great blokes along with Joe, so it was great to see them get up. And for Jeff Britton, he would have been proud in defeat with Group Bird, led everywhere above the post. Like I said, run very quick time. And yeah, Corey White's done an amazing job. That's the second year that Miss Ronnie Max made the Galaxy final, and this year he picks up a third placing. So yeah, that was an outstanding race to watch, Shorty. It's real heart in your mouth stuff when, you know, if you're on the favourite, and there would have been a lot of people on pre-post and stuff, and it gets up in the last stride. So great. I thought the track played very well as well. So congratulations to the track staff, and yeah, it was just a great night all round, Shorty, and good atmosphere to be on track.
Yeah, just quickly want to touch on some of the other feature winners. Dave Hobby with Sunset Hornet taking out the first Perth Cup consolation. Gee, you must have been super proud of Rip and Moses running second there in that Perth Cup consolation, and both Bowers Ace, the visitor for Minnie Finn, finished back in third. It's always a lock for your trifectas. First fours runs a lot of placings, but Rip and Moses used box number 1 to advantage, and you would have been delighted with the performance handed in by this dog, who you've travelled around a little bit with, and of course he's been a little bit in the shadows of the pin-up boy from the kennel, but I thought it was a super effort there on Saturday night.
Yeah, we're very proud of him, Shorty. You know, he's probably not up to that standard. He's just your good first grade, or, you know, your first grade performer on a Saturday that just turns up week in, week out, and you know, he's lucky enough to draw the one box. And I said to someone through the week last week, you know, if he had to draw 5 or 6 in that race, he would have been 50-1 and probably no way. But the box gave him a really good hope, and yeah, he cashed in. He got us a check, and it was good to see him. We're super proud of him, and yeah, he goes around again this week in a free for all. But he's done a good job for the kennel while holding the kennel up, basically, while there's a few others on the sideline. Yeah,
most definitely. Max Capacity took out the Galaxy consolation for Louis Clay. Well done, Louis. Weston Booney runner-up. Quick lands for Mickey Rylands. That would have been some real thrill for Mickey as well, having a place getter in a Galaxy consolation. He's done a great job with that dog. Quick lands, and likewise Kirsty Moore with Soul Jacker. So great to see some of the smaller trainers playing their part on Perth Cup and Galaxy night. Man About Town was a winner of a novice for Corey White there. We saw race number 5 on the program, a really emotional win with Now See Here getting up for Jamie Marsh, defeating Weston Sydney and Boilermaker. And our thoughts are with the Earnshaw family and Jamie with the passing of Terry, and huge thanks to those guys. They all turned up to my dad's funeral despite going through some really tough times themselves. Was lucky enough to have a bunch of dogs with Terry over the years. Just a wonderful man, incredibly talented trainer. He did so well for so many years, one of our elite trainers, but on top of that, one of the more popular characters amongst our industry. He was just a wonderful man that meant a lot to a lot of people. So our love and support is certainly with the Earnshaw family, and we'll be getting right around them next Wednesday for Terry's funeral there at Fremantle Cemetery. The rest of the night also just a buzz anytime you're involved with runners on Perth Cup night. Cozzy got a win with Kachi's Attitude, absolute winning machine, that dog. The second Perth Cup consolation, Wise Barra continued on its excellent form, defeating Shimmer Dream and Shy Emoji. Well done to the Guru with Shimmer Dream, running a cheeky race for him. La Sagrada ran really hot time in the Grade 5 over the 6:01. Ironworks good in defeat there, and later into the program. Past Market defeated the kennel mate Shake and Bake. Jeff Britton running the Quinella there in the free-for-all over the longer trip. Our girl Jess for Frank Lowry beat Fast Bite and Kenya Concord. And in the last race, it was Curo for Christine Robertson. Of course, Christine and Dave recently into the WA Greyhound Racing Hall of Fame. And no surprise to see them have success on the big night with Curo defeating Lady Sherwood and also Weston Odie. Our Group 1 night of chasing done and dusted for 2025, but it certainly did deliver with some of Australia's best chasers strutting their stuff. An excellent night of chasing, and not long to go now till the Sandgroper train.
No, not long at all. And out of all them wins, Shorty, I thought Max Capacity was the real eye catcher. I think Louis might even be talking about taking this dog on the road, so he wouldn't look out of a place in a Group 1 Sandown Cup lead. I don't think he's really stepped up to the staying ranks, and he's run in the heats of the Galaxy, when he was probably a certainty beat, taking ground off 2 Group 1 dogs. So wouldn't be surprised to see him over competing on the East Coast in the next couple of months, Shorty.
Indeed. Well, good luck to Louis. Certainly capable type of Max Capacity, and I'm sure would represent Louis and the state with distinction when it does eventually hit the road. We've got a pretty interesting program to look forward to tonight there. Mandurah Thursday chasing 12-race card train. You got something for the punters there?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping we can get a few winners, Shorty. It's a tricky little program, but I'm going to kick it off tonight in race 7, number 2, Dolly Dotty. She's a favourite of mine. We've discussed this before, Shorty. She's very honest. She's been in the top 3, 17 from 21 starts. It's hard to beat a record like that, but we just needed to find her old box winner. She has found the step up to free-for-all company. A little bit tough in the last couple of weeks, but she's back to a country grade 4 here race. I think she can bounce back into the winners list tonight, and just need to get her old beginnings back to her normal beginnings, Shorty. Race 7, number 2, Dolly Dotty.
Okay, race 7, number 2, Dolly Dotty, the first of them. Generally an absolute lock to fill a placing at the worst. On to the next of your plays?
Yeah, I thought race 8, number 2, Chobe Star, found a race here where he'd been racing in much tougher company than this, and thought he could get a lovely track up behind the dog in box 1, who does struggle to run out the 488-metre trip. And I don't think there's a lot of speed to the outside of this dog, and hopefully he's there ready to pounce coming around the home bend. Chobe Star, I think, hard to beat tonight.
Okay, race 8, number 2, Chobe Star, and the third of your plays tonight there at Mandurah? Yeah,
race 12, number 1, Aussie Bluff. I think when she gets it right, she's really, really good. She's a winner for a 12 track and trip and has had a couple of weeks freshen up for this, so I expect her to fly the lids and hopefully go coast to coast, Shorty. She will have to, though, because the dog in box 6 is going really well at the moment. But I just thought the better drawn Aussie Bluff could get the job done for us tonight. Race 12, number 1, Aussie Bluff.
All right, Aussie Bluff. As we saw previously, of course, with Cosy D'Agostino, this dog, and certainly when it gets it right, can really hum along up front. The last little bit is generally on fumes, but hopefully tonight spears to the top and leads all the way for Stevie Vanderklaus. That is a race 12, number 1 to go along with a pair of 2s. Race 7, number 2, Dolly Dotty, and race 8, number 2, Chobe Star. What's the latest with your camp train? Anything of significance over the next few nights to keep an eye out for? And what's the latest with your Kennel Star Iconic Jet?
Yeah, I think the 2 boys that have just been holding the kennel up, Lochinvar Hawk and Ripper Moses on Saturday night, Shorty, they both run really good races. I can't declare them, but I think box 1 for Lochinvar Hawk and the early race is a big thing for him. He's a bit of a bad kennel dog, so you probably see him bounce back and hopefully run a good race. And Ripper Moses has got Wise Barrow drawn on his outside, which is a very good bonus. So if he can show some speed and put himself up on the speed, I think they'll be both around the mark somewhere, each way hopes. And, Iconic Jet, he's back Monday, Short. He's back in the gallop ring runs Monday. So we've set a little program for him, and we hopefully get him ready for the Mandurah Derby at the end of April. So that could be his first up target. But he'll have a few trials before then, and we can let you know how he's travelling before then. But he's probably ready to come back this week, but I just elected to give him another week because we want him 100% sound for these Mandurah and WA derbies coming up.
Yeah, fair enough too. He'd done a lot of travelling and racing as a young dog, so probably having a little bit of a freshen up over the last couple of months hasn't done the dog any harm given the volume of racing it did as a youngster.
No, 100%. And the rest and recovery has done him really good, and he's sort of going to hit 2.5 soon, so that's when they're sort of peaking. And what he done prior to that was, exceptional. So I've got confidence in the dog, and I'm hoping we can. This is his last age-restricted race that he's eligible for, Shorty. So hopefully he can get the job done there, and then we can go back on the road mid to late in this year.
That next litter of Rip and Memphis wouldn't be too far away from breaking in, would they?
Next week. They go to the Breakers next week, so that's another exciting part of the journey. And she's also due to have some Aston Rupee pups this weekend as well. So it's very exciting. And we can't wait for the Feral Frankies to come back, Shorty, and hopefully give us a bit of spark up in the kennel. Yeah,
that's awesome. And if they're anywhere near as good as what this first litter have been, you'll be in for a lot of fun, that's for sure and certain. Good on you, Train. Great catching up with you this morning here on Great Greys. Continued success with your team, and good luck with those runners tonight there at Mandurah. We'll be cheering hard for you.
Thanks very much, Shorty, and all the best punters, back a winner.
There we have it. The Shane Train Williams with us on this Thursday morning here. You tuned into TAB Radio. It's 10:15. David Shortte and Matt McDermott with you on TAB Radio. We have our first race for broadcast coming up at 10:30 at Kyneton. We've got an odds-on favourite in the form of Fear No Evil. Bo Mertens takes the rise, been $2.30 into $1.85. Mini Angel, $4.60 out to 5. La Resistance, 7 into $5.50. Derailed been 6 to 7.50, Handcrafted 6.50 to 9.50. Tomorrow Me 16 out to 21, Siam Emerald 26 to 31. Charissa Moore 31 to 41, and then a couple of the roughies. Bubbles Time 61 out to 101, and Lockshot 41 out to 101. That race to take place at 10:30, some 14 minutes away from now. Good night of chasing at Albion Park and also in Hobart this evening. Joining us to have a look at those programs, Jason Campbell. Welcome to you, JC.
Hey, Shorty, how you going, mate?
Yeah, hanging in there, mate. Nice to have your company on this Thursday morning. I've got some pretty busy chasing going on up there. Albion Park, good program there. Likewise down in Hobart tonight. What are your thoughts on both of these meetings this evening?
Yeah, tricky program at both tracks tonight. I guess it's all happening up there in Queensland. We had the queue be, unveiled to trainers for the first time this week. They started trialling on Tuesday there, so very exciting things ahead for Queensland. I can't wait to see it all kick off in April.
That is exciting, and for anybody that's missed it and been under a rock, of course, the new facility for the industry up there, and some of that vision that we've seen looks spectacular. I think, no doubt, a lot of love from the local industry up there, and looking forward to using their new toy and having that facility for the punters to get involved with, and from a training perspective, something a little bit different for them to work with up there.
Yeah, certainly. I guess we'll get the blood pumping for a lot of trainers up there. It's a good variety of boxes and tracks, obviously. You've got the straight track, which is going to have a 300-metre start, which would be good for a lot of those little squibby dogs that get out in front and chasing. They sort of get run down late at Capalaba over the 366, and you've obviously got the one-turn track and the two-turn track for city racing, so I can't wait for it all to kick off very shortly.
Indeed. Take a little bit of time to just get our head around the form at the new tracks. It's always challenging patch, that first little part, when there's obviously a bit of trial mail that gets around for people that are up there close and handy to the action. But for the rank and file punter, it can take a few weeks to work out which dogs really do appreciate the new facilities and the new circuits. But we'll soon get our heads around that, and you're the best in the business when it comes to identifying those things. Let's see if we can't help the punters build a bit of a bank for the weekend of chasing upcoming. Who do you like tonight up there at the Creek?
Race 7, number 6, Star Turn. I've labelled him the best bet on the program. I think the key to this race is the 4 here, Dish for Dash. She has been absolutely flying a Lizard Ipswich of late. I really hope she can do the same here, cut off the inside trio of runners. Star Turn, build a nice little record, one last start from box 8. I think he can get across into second position, hopefully take over down the back straight and shoot for home.
Like it. Race 7, number 6, bit of value too, as it sits right now on the fixed odds with Tab Touch at $3.30. Star Turn to make it win number 3 from its last 4 starts, racing in fine style for trainer Jeff Crawford. The next of your plays up there at Albion Park?
Last race in the program, race 10, number 4, Apollo's Sun. I just want to take a set against the pink runner here, Brunswick Flyer. He's got a great record, obviously, but he does return from a bit of a break, and obviously due to that Cyclone Alfred, trials have been a bit stunted up there of late, so I'm unsure how fit he is on resumption. The speed in this race will come from scale-up time and the 5-dog Smooth Panther. I hope Apollo's Sun can just lob in a third position there on the rails And if he does do that, he was very strong to the line last week from box 2. I think he'll be really hard to hold out late in the piece.
And another at nice price, around that $3.90 mark. And the camp are going quite nicely too. Martina Kirillidis, from memory, saw a winner or two earlier on in the week. So ticking along quite nicely. Apollo Sun will be hoping can continue on that form for the kennel in race 10, number 4 tonight there at Albion Park. That's north of the border looked after. What about down there on the Apple Isle?
Race 2, number 2, She's Happy, and hopefully she'll make me happy later on tonight. So I think she's found a very winnable race here, albeit the scratchings probably really favour the 8 dog here. I was looking to take a set against Tim and the 6, who was the favourite safe tonight, but have to pick and stick with She's Happy. She was good here. 4 starts ago, she ran second to a dog by the name of Pico, who's, wouldn't say a top-grade chaser, but certainly a lot better chaser than any dog in this field. So I think getting back to the scene of the crime, track and trip, getting back into an inside box from last week's box 8 is a big tick for her, and I expect her to continue to be very well backed. I already see she's about that $5 in mark, and she should be really hard to hold out. All
right, let's hope it smiles all around for She's Happy. 7 into 275 there, so very nice fluck. Sounds like, worth noting though, scratchings of 6 and 7, which have slashed those prices. You did mention though, with 6 now out, that maybe 8 does come into the race. Is it the sort of race where we maybe bang those two together in novelties, given that the 6 is now out, with Cayman Danger potentially getting a smoother run over than what it would have done with 6 and 7 in the race?
Yeah, you can't go wrong either saving on Cayman Danger or putting into a Quinella Exacta trifecta and sending them out. I just think she is a bitch that needs a bit of luck, and most of her races have been over the 461 or the 515 at Launceston, and where her lone win came from. But obviously now getting back to a 5-dog field with 3 vacants, it does become a bit of not a solo trial, but I guess the best dog will probably stand up here, and she is the best dog in the race. So just hoping She's Happy can go to a new level tonight, but Cayman Danger is definitely a big threat now. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, that's we adjust as punters on the run, and with those scratchings, obviously it comes in. But She's Happy still well and truly worth having a look at there in that early race 2, number 2, and race number 6 is the last of your plays tonight down there in Hobart.
Jungle Boogie, number 6. How do you make a tissue dance, Shorty? Put a little boogie in it.
Anyway. Oh, well, look out. Look out.
Yeah, that's probably for
JC.
That's for Great Greys, the last segment in Great Greys back in the day where you used to have your little dad show.
Magnificent. I'll pay that. I'll definitely pay that.
Yeah. Awful. Anyway, mate, his Tasmanian debut had 15 starts over in South Australia, 5 wins, 7 placings. Nice, big, strong chase. I think he's up to 35, 36 kilos. And I like the form reference from his last start at Gawler. He defeated a dog by the name of Black Hoax by a very large margin. We've seen that chaser go down to Tasmania in recent weeks. Despite his numerical form looking a little bit so-so, he has shown a lot of speed in his races, Black Hoax, and I think he'd be hard enough to beat early in the program. Got a run out of the reserve box, unfortunately. Didn't get to see that prior to entering my tips. But I think Jungle Boogie brings the right form to this race. He might be a bit of a drifter, just people, I guess, maybe potting that South Australian form, but I think he's going to be extremely strong late in the piece here. So race 6, number 6, Jungle Boogie.
Very nice indeed, punters. And, he's the new day Eddie Murphy, this man. What about that? How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it. I'm just about ready to retire off that bit of work from you. JC, magnificent this morning. Matty's giving it the thumbs down, having none of it. Love your work, though, mate. You've got to put it out there, and it certainly made me have a bit of a chuckle this morning. Appreciate your time, as always. Good luck finding all of the winners up there at Albion Park and Hobart, and look forward to catching up again this time next week, mate.
Thanks, Shorty. See you, mate.
Beautiful work. Jason Campbell with us this morning, and very, very amusing bit of work from him. We've got a very busy program to look forward to tonight there at Sandown, and the Hall of Famer Neil Brown's been good enough to pick up the phone and have a chat to us on this Thursday morning. Very good morning to you, Neil.
Good morning, David. Looking forward to tonight's meeting. Bit of rain about here for tonight's meeting, but it's a good solid card, isn't it?
It certainly is, although we've been robbed of a little interest because Explicit was touted to return from retirement tonight there in race number 8 on the program, the free-for-all over 5:15, but unfortunately it's come out as a scratching. I'm not sure the latest. I did hear earlier in the week the excitement was really building over there for the return of this dog. Is all well with Explicit, and is the comeback still on, Neil? Do you know?
Well, I'm as shocked as everybody else that the greyhound is scratched, so there must be a reason for it, and I'm not sure of what that is. But he was going to go around as about $1.20, Dave, and I had him on his own. I didn't think they were capable of getting anywhere near him in the race, but it's opened that last leg right up. So I'm no doubt we'll hear as the day unfolds on to the reason why he couldn't take his place or not. But yes, it has robbed the meeting of a real star attraction, the superstar Explicit, back in work. So we'll wait and see, Dave.
Indeed. From a purely selfish greyhound fan perspective, I hope the dog is well, and I hope it comes back to chasing. A real favourite of so many punters Australia-wide. He's been lighting the tracks up there with just a phenomenal burst of speed right the way through its career, Explicit, and it would be great to see him back onto the track. Hopefully all is well, and of course we've got the Sandgroper just around the corner. What an addition it would be to that lineup if Explicit was fit and well, and let's hope. We'll wait and see how that turns out for Jason Thompson and keep you posted with the latest punters. We have got, though, the early quaddie races 1 through to 4 tonight, Brownie, and the first race is a maiden final over the 515 metres. Galento for Paul Gallier comes up with box number 1 off the Heat Wind and is our $2.05 favourite. Take us through your early quaddie.
Yeah, short, but probably, I think from box number 1 he's going to be very hard to beat. I've got him on top. Same draw as he had in the heat. He's certainly the one to beat. I'm going to take 7 and 4 for a bit of insurance. These maiden finals have often thrown up a different result, but here off the red, Galento looks the greyhound to beat. Race number 2, we've got a mixed 6th and 7th grade over the 515 here. I'm going to give University another chance. He had no luck last week, and go back to his 29.40 where he led all the way. So there's a few chances in it. I'm going to take 2, 1 and 6. I have got University on top. In race number 3, 2, 1 and 5 for me here. It's a Geelong to Sandown. These greyhounds qualified for this final at Geelong. And the most impressive, I think, was Doongala Jesse. There's a few of the Doongalas in this race, 3 of them, in fact. He showed heaps of early pace, and he was the fastest heat winner. Well drawn in the 2. Looks the one to beat. Race number 4, launching pad qualifying final here. Race win final over the 515. I'm going to take 3 again in this leg, 7, 2 and 1. I've got 7 on top. Ashton Rayner, very impressive heat winner in 29 and 22. 4 from 5. Only missed the start once. He's gone 5.03 here, and I think he can scamper from the outside, scratching in 8 and get across and be the one to beat. So that takes us to the main quaddie tonight, race number 5. Here a mixed 4th and 5th grade quality race over the 515. A few chances. We've got the pink coming out, so a field of 7. I'm going to take 5, 1 and 2. I've got the Colac Kid on top. He's been airborne at the Meadows. 2 of his last 3, leading all the way. Fast times out there, 29, 58 and 59. And, he has won here, and I think he's the dog to beat. The 1, I'm a Mustang, has some early pace. Good race record here at Sandown, 4 and 8 from 17. Is well boxed in box number 1, and Paul Whitley also boxed okay in the 2, racing consistently, and is a chance with a bit of luck in a pretty good race. Race number 6, here we've got the 7:15 metre race tonight. Similar greyhounds going around in the past few weeks over the 7:15. I made it 1, 2 and 7. I'm going to give Navarino a chance, another chance here. He's been fairly impressive in his 2 7:15s, winning here and only beaten less than a length last week. I think he's the one to beat. Certainly a chance to stay from box number 2. Solid effort again last week after a couple of wins here. It's a chance, gets back and runs on. And the 7, I think, outsides is a bit of a chance. We've got to see how it goes. A nice win over the 680 at Warragul and comes in to Sandown for its first look over the 7:15. Race number 7, we wide open this race over the 595, a mixed 4th and 5th grade. Hard race. I'm going to take 4, 5, 1 and 8. The 4 I've got on top, Poor Ike. It's in form, 3 Meadows wins over the 600. 2 best of the nights. so it has enough early speed to maybe lead from box number 4. The 5 got some early speed, Sunset Wisp, runs on in its races and can run out the distance pretty well. The red Upset Sunset, it's well drawn, could get to the front from that box draw tonight in this open race. And a horror draw for Tully Luna, but has got plenty of ability. One here in 34 and 17. So wide open third leg, 4, 5, 1 and 8.
You're listening to Great Greys on Tab Radio.
Well, we're catching up with Neil Brown. We're up to the final leg of the main quaddie. Leg 1, 5, 1, 2. Leg 2, 1, 2, 7. Leg 3, 4, 5, 1 and 8. And the final leg tonight, Neil, race number 8 there at Sandown is the free-for-all over the 515 metres. Take out Buddy Manelli and, of course, the big scratching of Explicit. Who do we now have here in this final leg?
Yeah, it's wide open race now with a field of 6, David. I'm going to try and find it in 3. I think it's very even. I'm taking 7, 5 and 6. I've got Kenya Nitrate on top. It's won 7 races from 9 starts out of boxes 7 and 8, so it's not going to be put off by coming out of box 7 tonight. I think it's got a real good chance. It's a 29.38 winner here in an open race. I'm going to take the 5, Paul Petrov. It's got a chance. A 3 and 1 from 5 here. A 29.49 winner comes out okay. I think it's a chance. And Gia Como's the other one I'm going to throw in. It's also won 3 races. It's in a good kennel, of course, and has that bit of early speed. So pretty open final leg now. We'll see if we can find it in 7, 5 and 6. Now we're going for the impossible, David. 5 best bets in a row, which doesn't happen. So I think I've fought with danger, but I'll have another crack. Race 12 I'm going to do. One of my favourites, race 12. I've got a couple of them home, and I'm going to select Poor Ticker. Has a leader. He's recorded 5:03 on the track and leads. His record here is okay, 3 and 5 from 13. The track is your last start winner at the Meadows. And they're betting about 360, David. So give him strength and see if we can keep the roll going. Race 12, number 2, Poor Ticker, our best tonight. And looking forward to the Shepparton Cup Saturday night with Lakeview Emily in sensational form and come up with box number 1, $2 favourite, though. She looks very hard to beat. She's been in absolutely superb form over the last 2 or 3 months, hasn't she?
Indeed, yeah. She's an absolute star, Lakeview Emily, and I'm looking forward to seeing her in that Shepparton Cup final. Well, Brownie, they don't hand out spots in the Hall of Fame for fun, and that's exactly one of the reasons why you're doing it. We'll be cheering hard tonight for Poor Ticker to make it 5 on the trot for you. Thanks, as always, for your time here on Great Greys. Enjoy the chasing tonight there at Sandown. We'll catch up next week.
Good on you, David. Look forward to it.
This is your home of the Greyhound Good Oil, Great Greys.
Well, it's now 22 minutes away from 11 o'clock. Time to catch up with our great mate Sean Matheson and have a look at all things South Australian chasing over the next few days. Welcome to you, Sean.
Yeah, hi, David. Great to be back on the show with you. It was great talking to Pete over the last couple of weeks, which I really enjoyed. It's great to have you back on the show. And, really looking forward to our racing tonight and obviously over the weekend in South Australia.
Absolutely. Some good chasings throughout the course of tonight. There's some good top-grade racing and Fantastic Spike. Did I see Fantastic Spike named SA Greyhound of the Year last week at some stage?
Yeah, so I think it was about just 2 weeks ago. We had our Greyhound of the Year awards night, and Fantastic Spike, was named SA Greyhound of the Year for 2024. Had a wonderful season of racing a lot of our absolute best events. Highlight being the Shane McQueen final over 5.95, but it's just his electric mid-race pace and that swooping run home to get the money in many, many open class events. Definitely got him over the line, had a wonderful season for the Cheggiers, so a well-deserved winner in what was a very even contest, but definitely Fantastic Spike, a well-deserved winner.
Yeah, no doubt. Really exciting dog to watch. Gets, as you've touched on, uses that mid-race burn, but generally swooping out really wide as they turn for home and looking to come home with that one big sort of powerful burst. Good matchup, though, tonight for Fantastic Spike. Likes the wide draw, but runs into a steaming hot Afire, who's won 3 of his last 4 starts. Of course, he's a bit of a veteran as well, but Craig Yench doing a great job with this dog, and it's turned up with some hot wins, including a staggering 30-18 win last week, and the start prior 30-21. So Afire right now is the dog that's lighting the place up across there in SA, and both of those 2 wins, it must be noted, have both come from box number 8. So goes in tonight as a $2.05 chance, and it'll be one of the highlight races on the program, with Afire taking on the SA Chase Greyhound of the Year from last year, Fantastic Spike.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a highlight, a race not to miss. I do actually have a best bet in that race, David, so when we get to that. But it's such a hot race, and as you mentioned with Afire, those sort of times, 30-18, 30-21, we saw Gavin Harris's dog, which was off to the launching pad. The name just escapes me for the moment, which was Dashing. Where is it? She's off to the launching pad, which is very exciting the next couple of weeks. Which was, sorry, David. Oh, there it is. Dashing Slay went 29.98 only a couple of weeks ago. Breaking 30 seconds around Angle Park is amazing. 30-18, as you mentioned, is flying. The track's really in fantastic condition at the moment as we head towards a lot of our feature races. But definitely this race, as you touched on, is a race not to be missed. I do like, though, Bookaloo is one of my best bets in this race at $5.50, David. I just find that an amazing price for, again, she is in red-hot form. She won the St. Ledger a few runs ago. She really stepped into open company and hasn't looked back. She was a brilliant winner last start, 30-36. I just think with her speed, she can get the edge on both Fantastic Spike and Afire from out wide, be right up on speed, if not leading, be really hard to catch. So at the $5.50, I just represents terrific value for her in what is an outstanding race.
Alrighty, so good value there. $5.50 race 7, number 5, Bookaloo in that really hot open grade race over the 5:30 tonight. Yeah,
and as I said, one not to be missed. The next of the best bets actually comes up a bit earlier in the night, which would be race 3, and it's number 2, White Owl for Craig Yench. You mentioned he's having a really good run with his dogs in his small team. Probably been waiting for this dog to draw an inside box. Since coming to South Australia, has had 5 or 6 runs, just drawn wide, having no luck at all. Draws box 2 tonight in a very even race with dogs with not a lot of speed, but they are all quite strong. So I just think White Owl from box 2 just gets a lovely run up on the inside. It opened around $8. There's been support in the market into that sort of $5.50, $6 range, which I think is still okay on an each-way basis. I think can get the job done, but definitely can run top 2. As I said, I think you'll see a fair bit of improvement from an inside draw for this dog.
Alrighty, race 3, number 2, White Owl. Very good value currently at the $5.50 mark. And the third of your plays tonight there, Sean?
Third comes up in race 9, and it's number 5, Moscow Chick for Ross Smith. On the second line of betting around that $2.60 mark, she's an out-and-out leader. I think she leads tonight. Her main danger, which is the favourite, is drawn on her outside, Talbot Road, so I think she'll get to the rail first. She showed a very good win last start in 30.93, but I like to look at the race 3 runs ago when she ran second, when she lit it up early, had a big break, a pillar, which we know is an outstanding middle distance and staying type and a really exciting chaser over those journeys. And she only just got nailed on the line by a pillar 3 runs ago and running second. She went 30.79. She produces that sort of effort. There's no pillars in this race, so I see her leading and winning tonight.
I like it. Race 9, number 5, Moscow Chick. She's only a little girl, 24.3 kilos, so the key for her, rolling to the top and running them along where she doesn't get into any drama. So Moscow Chick to spear to the top and lead all the way. Race 9, number 5. We've got chasing, of course, to look forward to as well on a Friday across there in SA at Murray Bridge. We've got Sunday chasing as well at Gawler. What have you got for us at those meetings there, Sean?
Yeah, so just one each there. So look towards Murray Bridge tomorrow. Race 2, number 2, Galactic Neutron. now in the care of Lauren Harris. Had his first couple of runs at Mount Gambier over the 3:05. Very impressive in winning his maiden last start. Has had about 2 months off, but Lauren Harris and Ryan Tugg will have a wonderful affinity with these dogs when they come into the kennel from the southeast. I expect he'll be really primed for Murray Bridge tomorrow over the 3:95. Looks a promising type in the making, so expect him to get the job done. And then we look towards Gawler on Sunday night. Race 7, number 8, Grand Chief for Brenda Oakey. At the moment, anything with Brenda Oakey's name as the trainer, she's having a wonderful run and a terrific strike rate at the moment. I think Grand Chief over the short course here did win in 22.78 last start. I think the wide draw will suit in this event. Should show enough speed to cross them and be really hard to catch.
Magnificent. So on to the weekend. Friday, race 2, number 2, the Richie Benno Special Galactic Neutron, and then Gawler on Sunday, race 7, number 8, Grand Chief for our man Sean Matheson to go along with 3-2-7-5-9-5 tonight there at Angle Park. Beautifully done, Sean. Thanks so much for joining us here on Great Greys. Have a wonderful weekend and look forward to catching up with you again this time next week.
Yeah, terrific. I always appreciate your time. Thanks, David.
There we have it. Sean Matheson talking all things South Australian greyhound racing. We have got our next race for broadcast sneaking up on us. Race 1 of the day at Albury over the 1,000 metres. Comes up in 3.5 minutes from now. I'll just briefly take you through what that market is looking like. We'll be catching up with our great mate Simon Orchard in just a few moments' time. But before that, the market update for race number 1 of the day here at Albury. And we see Sergeant stand for a Harry Coffey, our $2.20 favourite, in from $3. Group Chat's been easy to back, $2.20 to $3.20. One Hard Lady, $6.50 to $7. Bessie LaBelle, $8.50 into $8. Smart as Grace, $13 into $10. Christmas Star, $12 out to $15. Pride of Jezza, $23 out to $41. And then we've got 3 long shots. Okie Moon, $91 to $101. Stormy Woo, $151 into $126. That same Fluck for Upskill, $151 into $126. 3 minutes away, race 1 there at Albury. Let's welcome in Simon Orchard, though, now to talk all things New South Wales greyhound racing. Welcome to you, Simon.
Yeah, g'day, Shorty. Great to hear your voice again, mate. Hope all is well over there in the west.
Thank you, mate. Nice to be back on board, and lots going on in your neighbourhood as well. Plenty of great chasing for the punters to get involved with over the next few days.
Oh, you're spot on, mate. We're steamrolling our way towards Saturday night. Country Classic, the 4th ever running of the Rich Race out there in Dubbo. 100 grand to the winner. Zip and Kyrgios, the first winner. We had Showman Jack, Bella Una, who will be crowned Country Classic champion Saturday night. You'll have to wait to see. I reckon Aiden's Warrior, I'd be interested in your thoughts as well, is the favourite for a reason. A big reason is because, 2 of the 3 finals have been won from the Cherry. We saw Showman Jack so dominant from box 1, Zip and Kyrgios the same, and I just think that Ben start at Dubbo. Been speaking to Shane Stiff a bit lately in the lead up to the race, and he just thinks it's such an advantage to be on the inside. So Aiden's Warrior, the dog that went within almost a length of the track record last week, and it's just been going up and up and up. I know Andy and Jody have a big opinion of him. He's really well bred through a great line, and I just reckon he's going to be really hard to beat. Shorty, you got any thoughts?
I'm with you 100%. I saw that performance there last weekend, and this is a dog from a really nice litter by Fernando Bale out of Book of Luck. Gee, she's been a good producer. And the other thing, Aiden's Warrior's had some good fortune with the box draws. It's a dog that just needs that little bit of room to wind up. When it does, it just has got an electric turn of burn. Its last 5 runs, 2 1s and 2 8s, which has been perfect to give the dog room to move. The other was box 6 when he parked, when it ran a slick 29.68. Been mixing its sprinting with middle distance running and distance running over even longer, the 700. Isn't it great when you've got a dog with the versatility of a dog like Aiden's Warrior as well, Simon? It doesn't matter what distance this dog gets sent out over, it just turns up and delivers the business.
Yeah, you're spot on. And I wonder, Shorty, a question about whether the dog is just versatile or whether the trainers are just really good at their job. It's probably a little bit of both, to be honest, because you've got a dog by the name of Gets Laid Early in box 4 for Minnie Finn, who's a Group 1 winner over 500. Minnie, in all her wisdom, threw the dog up the straight a couple of months ago, and it wasn't disgraced at all. Goes to the 600 now, has early pace, maybe can be the fly in the ointment from box 4. I think Jungle Johnny's the best dog in the race, and gee, he's a rising star, if not a star already. But I just question where he's going to get to from 6. Kangaroo Jack, a dog, while wily, tough old dog, could do anything. Gets late early, could hold Jungle Johnny wide. Late Night News has been jumping really well from 7 as well, but more of a staying type. I'd love to see Jungle Johnny and Aiden's Warrior pair off and go head-to-head down the back and may the best dog win. I just think that Aiden's Warrior, courtesy of the inside, the bookies agree. That's why he's the favourite for the Country Classic on Saturday night. But Jungle Johnny may be the dog to watch out of the series. And we haven't even mentioned the new sensation, mate. Race 8, Wenty Park on Saturday as well. 25 grand to the winner. And we've seen some real stars come out of this series over the last couple of years in particular. Last year it was won by Good Odds Cobber. Find a better dog, or dog going better than Good Odds Cobber at the moment. He's an absolute Rolls Royce, and he just keeps winning and winning, and he came out of this race last year. So for me, the tip is Honk Honk in box number 2, another dog that can just get out and go. I think has done really well in the box draw. She's that girl who's been the dog on everyone's lips throughout the week, but box 6, I just can't see a way that she gets across. So much pace inside. Kenya Sapphire flies early. Honk Honk goes quick. Taumina goes quick. So she's that girl, although she ran blistering sections last week going 29.23. I just cannot see a way that she gets across, and that's why I'm with Honk Honk from the inside, a PB of 29.19, a dog that's cherry ripe at the moment for Tony Mason. That's my tip, mate, for the 2 features come Saturday. Wenty Park, race 8, number 2, Honk Honk, and then the Country Classic, race 7, number 1, Aiden's Warrior out at Dubbo. Yeah,
it does produce stunning dogs, the new sensation each and every year, and we'll be watching that race with great interest. 6:38 WA time there on a Saturday night at Wenty Park. Should be an absolute beauty.
You are tuned into Shorty and the team on Great GREYS.
Well, we're catching up with Simon Orchard, having a look at New South Wales Greyhound racing over the next few days. We've had a look at a couple of the features. We're teaming up with race 7, number 1, Aiden's Warrior at Dubbo on Saturday night. And Wentworth Park, race 8, number 2, Honk Honk. And quite fitting, we would have been honking our horn if we were certainly anywhere near the venue waiting there for that race to be run and won. But you've been good enough to stay on the line, Simon. What else do you have for us for the weekend of chasing ahead in New South Wales?
Yeah, let's try and build a bank today, Shorty. Casino this afternoon, race 6, number 5, Integrity Naomi for our good mate Rob Andrews up there. Pretty good career stats and good track and trip stats for a track which is pretty tricky. A lot of T's there, the Casino Circle. If this dog jumps like it has in the last 2, 8.56, 8.70 to the first mark, I think it's a matter of put in, pull out. If it does go 9.10 or 9.20 like it did in the first 2 runs before that, then maybe it's a trickier proposition. But I think maybe I'm backing Rob Andrews to get the box manners right. So 6-5, Integrity Naomi, the best bet at Casino. If you're going to have a play at Wenty tonight, race 5, number 6, Sutton Blend, drawn to lead. There's no pace, and I mean no pace inside. There's a spare box immediately inside Sutton Blend in the 6, so the 5 is vacant. Best track and trip stats in the race, the only dog to break 30, and I think in this restricted 1-2 win, Justin Thorpe has placed Sutton Blend pretty well. Has had its paw on the till as well. It's run 17 times for just 1 win, but 13 placings. So I'm backing Sutton Blend in a restricted race to get the chockies tonight. That's race 5, number 6 at Wenty Park. And then we finish off at Dapto, 8-7, Athlete Tick. 4 starts back, Shorty. This dog went within half a length of the track record over the shorts at Dapto. Has been bounced around to Nowra since, but I think returning to Dapto, only a small field, going to get the revs up out wide from box 7. Athlete Tick, best bet of the night there, 8-7 Athlete Tick. And then hopefully you've got some money to play with the features on the weekend. Make sure you stay tuned to thedogs.com.au for all the action. I'm heading out to Dubbo on Saturday. Can't wait to get out there. And, mate, we're going to come home with some great yarns on Shane Stiff, on Dennis Barnes, and on the Board family as well. So hopefully we'll have some good features for you in the next couple of weeks.
And a wallet full from getting aboard Aiden's Warrior there in the Country Classic on Saturday night. Beautifully done, Simon. Thank you so much for your time, mate. Drive safely and look forward to our chat next week right here on Great GREYS.
Good on you, mate. Hooroo.
There we have it. Simon Orchard with us here on TAB Radio. We're moving in nicely for race 2 at Kyneton. Tonight there at Mandurah. A couple of plays. Race 5, number 5, Arm for Action. Race 6, number 6, Fancy That Fred. An all-up place. Race 3, number 2. Race 5, number 5. Race 7, number 6. Race 11, number 3. That's 3, 2, 5, 5, 7, 6, 11, 3. The all-up place there. And 5, 5, 6, 6. The 2 plays for me. They're moving in nicely for race 2, Kyneton. Maddie, a huge thank you to your good self for all of your fine work this morning as always. To everybody tuned in, have yourself a ripper Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow morning. We're chasing winners between 9 and 10 o'clock right here on TAB Radio.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.